In Commitment 2022 news tonight, new campaign ads are hitting the airwaves for Republican incumbent Senator Chuck Grassley and his Democratic challenger Mike Franken. KCCI's Amanda Rooker shows us why experts say the tone of these ads may indicate the race is heating up.
That's right, Stacey. The most recent Des Moines Register poll, it's from July, shows Grassley leading Franken by 8 percentage points. And while that's still a pretty significant lead, KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford says it's considerably smaller than the lead that Grassley has won by in all 7 of his previous Senate campaigns. And Goldford says that could be putting both candidates on the attack.
In his first campaign ad of the general election cycle, Democrat Michael Franken highlights his military background and his past, pushing back against presidents from both political parties.
Under President Bush, I was that one person to speak out against the Iraq invasion. Under President Obama, I challenged an outdated system to improve our intelligence.
KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford says the ad is an attempt to establish a break from party affiliation.
This is an attempt on the part of Admiral Franken to establish that independence. He's still trying to establish who he is.
Republican incumbent Chuck Grassley used a clip from that Franken ad in his latest digital campaign.
Admittingly, I inflated the cost of that. Quite a bit inflated.
The Grassley campaign claims Franken intentionally gave his superior officers false information about the cost of sending forces to East Africa.
If Admiral Franken is touting his military experience as a way of vouching for his trustworthiness, and if Senator Grassley's campaign can in some way weaken that claim or cast doubt on it, that really hurts Franken's candidacy.
It's not Grassley's only attack ad. His first ad of the general election cycle, released last Thursday, criticizes Franken for several negative comments about Iowa.
We can do this. Rescue the state of Iowa. Rescue our reputation.
Who does this guy think he is?
Goldford says the negative tone is an unusual campaign strategy for the 7-term incumbent, one that may set this race apart.
Chuck Grassley, except the competitive first race, has just been so far ahead that he's managed to remain above the fray. The fact that he's going after his opponent this time around suggests not that he's worried, but that he's not so willing to be confident that he can ignore his opponent.
Grassley's campaign spokesperson commented in a statement, writing in part, quote, "We think Iowans will be shocked as they learn more about Mike Franken's radical views and low opinion of Iowa. No one seeking to represent Iowa has ever been this disrespectful toward the state and its people." Franken's campaign spokesperson responded, telling KCCI, quote, "Instead of attempting to malign the character of a patriotic Iowan who served our country for nearly 4 decades at the highest levels of the military, Senator Grassley should explain to Iowans his 63-year record as a career politician." Stacey.